Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Johnny signing in again from Johannesburg, South Africa. I want to tell you about the power of Lifewave's X39. It reactivates your own stem cells in your body, and you get up to 4,000 new genes in your body, which fights any disease and issues in your body. So it's a non-invasive patch. It looks like this, and you stick it on parts of your body. And when it's a part of your body, it reactivates your copper peptide in your brain, which reactivates your stem cells in your body. So it's not like big pharma's stem cell injection that costs you over 25,000 US dollars, and you can only get it in certain countries, and your body can reject it. There's only a 50% uh, working rate of the injection. This medical patch, my own point of view, this activates your own stem cells in your body and creates new genes. I put out a testimonial every week of an issue or a disease of what people are struggling with out there in the world. We hold over 200 worldwide patent rights on this miracle patch. Remember, it's my point of view, my own point of view. And you can only get it from one of the brand partners at Lifewave. We sell directly to the people that need it. We don't market it in big business where everybody has to put a markup up, and then it'll be out of the reach of the people that really need it. So that's what we do. So today I want to welcome you to the Lifewave family. And remember, it's the only technology of its kind in the world today. So my testimonial of the week would be right up here, week number, and then in red you'll get the testimonial of the week. Your first video will give you testimonials from people that are on this medical patch and what it's done for them and how it's helped them. And then the video thereafter would be a full presentation of how to wear this product and what you can get out of it, the benefits you can get out of it, and all that type of thing. And then on the last video, you'll find my contact details. So if you have a disease that you would like to see testimonials on that specific disease, or like high blood pressure or sugar diabetes, I will send you testimonials from all over the world with people that are on the medical patch, my own point of view, the patch, and then you can see for yourself what it's done for those people. So on the last video, you'll find QR codes from YouTube, from Rumble, and from BitChute. That is the long videos that will tell you all about it, and you can see the testimonials and how the presentation of how this works. And then if you're one of the people that struggle with data and that, you can follow me on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and X, and you'll find a QR code of my WhatsApp channel. And next to that, there's a QR code taking you direct to my email address. And on the other side of the page, you'll find Telegram. So if you want to use Telegram, you can scan that and go into my Telegram account. Guys, if you go into BitChute, we've got hundreds of followers, but no subscribers. Very few subscribers. Guys, please subscribe so that we can get to millions more people out there. My Rumble account, it's exactly the same. We got viewers, but no subscribers. Please subscribe there. Or on my YouTube channel. I got a few subscribers, but had hundreds more, thousands more. YouTube took it down and I lost all those subscribers. So please subscribe there again. And there's there you can drop me a cup of coffee or something to help me keep all this work up on all those channels. And please follow me on the smaller channels such as Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok, and X. Follow me there, and so we can get to millions of more people that need this miracle patch. Oops, my own point of view. This patch, you just stick it on a part of your body. It's a non-invasive patch, so nothing's going into your bloodstream. So if you're on tablets, you can still wear this. This is just activating your body to work, not in your bloodstreams and going in all over like big pharma's Smarties, and they give you a tablet for this and a tablet is something else in your body. So this is a non-invasive patch. So guys, thank you for being here, and you'll see me again next week for the next one, and we'll take it from there. Remember, the testimonial of the week is up here. It's in red, and the week number. So thank you for being here, and hope to see you on the last page, and we'll take it from there. Thank you, and enjoy the week and enjoy the weekend. See you next week.
Yeah, my good friend called to check on my daughter. My daughter had she was 11 last September, had a traumatic brain injury that resulted in a brain hemorrhage, and she was discharged from the hospital, and we were very blessed. It could have been a lot worse, and she went through hyperbaric oxygen. We did rehab, we did acupuncture. I've always been somewhat of a researchaholic, and so when traditional medicine kind of left us hanging, there wasn't a whole lot of things that they had to offer her. We kind of went out of the box, and she went back to school about part-time right before Christmas break and kind of did all the holiday parties, and then went back full-time in January. And her academics were struggling. And about that time, my husband and I said, oh my gosh, we have to do something else. And Dina called and said, hey, I've had just this miraculous response with my daughter, and she has a special needs daughter. And she said, if they can heal my daughter's brain, I think you should try them for your daughter's brain. And the researchaholic in me, started researching them. And that's probably my biggest regret, is I spent probably about 6 weeks digging into all of the clinical trials and reading the studies and listening to testimonial calls just like this one. And finally at the, probably midpoint, my husband and I decided that it was something we had to at least give a try. So I had texted Dina, and I said, I think I asked her, I said, well, how much is this anyway? And she kind of said, well, let's talk. And I thought, oh boy, that's never a good sign. And was anticipating that it being a lot more expensive than what it was. And so when she told me the price, I thought, oh shoot, if you would have told me that, I would have just jumped on board probably probably a month before. I probably would have at least read some of the clinical trials. But anyway, I thought before I experiment on my 11-year-old, I would put him on myself. So I have scoliosis in my back, and so I have struggled with some low back pain. I'm not a medicine taker, despite being a pharmacist. I don't like to take any kind of medication. I feel like my job is always to tell people all the side effects and the reasons why maybe they should be careful. And so I tend not to take a lot of medication. And so I was sitting at my desk doing my chart reviews and whatnot from home, and having to sit with a TENS machine on because my back hurt so bad. And I wasn't getting relief from a chiropractor anymore. And, you know, the funny thing is Dina asked if I needed anything. And I said, oh no, I'm perfect. Actually, I don't have any problems. I don't have anything. And she's like, okay. And so I tried them for the first week, the X39 and the Aeon, and I put them on my low back. So the X39 on my spine and the Aeon kind of on my right loin, and kind of right where you put your hand on your hip. And about the third day of wearing the patches, I had just a dramatic improvement in my level of pain. I just thought, am I feeling something? Like, am I losing my mind, or am I actually feeling something working in these patches? And by the end of the first week, I couldn't find a sore spot. I was kind of putting them right on the point of pain, and I really couldn't find a sore spot. And so at the end of the week, I kind of thought, well, maybe I'm going to stay on these too. So I did, and I started Elena on them. And so it was kind of an accident that I started the patches, because I had no intention of spending $100 a month on myself. And so pretty much that's how I got started in them. And Dina told me a little bit about the business aspect of it. And I said, oh no, that is not for me. I will not be doing the business part of it. I have no desire to do that. And she said, well, you just wait. When you get your miracle, you won't be able to help yourself, and you'll have to share your story. And so here I am. I just started my basically 5th month of the patches, and I don't think I'll be going without them anytime soon. I've experimented on myself a little bit, and I can skip a day or two, even once in a while, 3 or 4. But boy, by that 5th day, I am reminded how bad I used to feel. So I don't like to skip days. I don't like to be inconsistent. It's one of the things I counsel people on is, hey, be consistent. Make sure that you're wearing them every single day as you're supposed to. Don't skip. You're not going to get the same results if you're not consistent. But some of my background is I live here in Arizona, and as a transplant Arizona person, I came from Michigan. I got valley fever really bad. I was one of the lucky or unlucky 1% that get a nodule. And so I had a valley fever nodule burst in my right lower lobe. And I ended up with a pretty decent size 1 centimeter calcification. My original nodule was 4.2 centimeters. So the nodule stays, it's kind of like a scar, or on an x-ray, it looks like a tumor in your lung. And that left me with some shortness of breath, difficulty, like sometimes with exercise-induced type asthma, very reactive lungs. So if I walk through cigarette smoke or even trick-or-treating and everybody with their fire pits out here in Arizona, I would cough and hack and wheeze for weeks after any kind of exposure to that. So, and with valley fever, you can't take any steroids. So it's kind of just left with scarred lungs, I guess. I also had low thyroid, so I took thyroid medicine, and you know, being in my 40s, every year it seemed like the scale and I kind of had a more weighty relationship. Not that I've ever been a super heavy person, but just, the scale kind of creeped up there. I've always been active and exercise, but I just really just couldn't ever lose any weight. So I started patching, and I started with X39 and the Aeon on my back. And then we had that awesome kind of summer special where you got an SP6 for free. So thought, well, I'm going to try it. And I started wearing the SP6, and probably about between a week and 10 days in, I kind of accidentally forgot my thyroid medicine. And I kind of about a week after forgetting it for a week, I just decided, well, I haven't noticed that I wasn't taking it, so I stopped taking it. And I'm a numbers person. I'm very lab value oriented. And I went and got my blood work done about 8 weeks after being off the thyroid medicine. And my blood work was all better than it had been last summer. So that was a happy accident with the patches. And of course, my low back is feeling much better. I mean, I pretty much don't have any back pain unless I do something to deserve it. Other than that, I have no back pain. The other kind of cool thing is we were sitting around the campfire up north at our cabin, and my husband looked over at me and he goes, "You haven't been wheezing lately." And I was like, "Oh, actually, you're right. I haven't even been carrying my rescue inhaler. I don't wheeze anymore. I don't get short of breath. I exercise without any difficulty." And so that also has been kind of a happy accident. My daughter, the most amazing part, and probably the most, part that I'm the most thankful for, is that she wore the patches for about 2 months, so April and May, and we had gotten her state testing. Our school district does it, I think it's like the end of February, first part of March, right before spring break. And she was around 60%. She was struggling about 60% in all of her core subjects. And that's unusual. She was kind of an all A student prior to her accident. And so we started patching her. She was using very consistently the Aeon and the X39, and then more or less consistently the Elevata, probably not 7 days a week, but maybe 4 days a week, mostly the 4 days that I would remember, to do it at night. And she was struggling in school. She, like I said, about 60%, and she was struggling to sleep. She, in 2 months, well,
Okay,
really,
the same thing.
yeah, really about her first night on the patches, she slept through the night, which was a nice gift to me, because then she slept through the night, I got to sleep through the night. In 2 months, she went from, like I said, barely getting 60% to she ended up getting 95% or better on all 4 of her core subjects for her final grades. So we had a dramatic improvement. She was more noise tolerant. She had less headaches. We still have a little bit of struggles with headaches and not really noise sensitivity so much, but maybe just the feeling of being a little overwhelmed. And again, I'm going to say it's a lesson that I learned the hard way is in being consistent, is because I let her kind of take the summer off. She was doing so well. And so I didn't patch over the summer, and we just went back to school, and I was like, we need to start the patches again. So we just started the patches again when she went back to school here about 3 weeks ago, and I can already tell a difference. So it's been a bit of a miracle for our family. And just like Dina said, when you get your miracle, you won't be able to help yourself from sharing with others. And 1, that's why I'm here today. And 2, it has just transformed my life. I've always been a patient advocate and been very, I guess, I take very personally the care of my friends and my family and my patients. And this product has just been a blessing to everyone I know. I've had just the most amazing results with my friends and my family. It's just been wonderful. So I'm so thankful that we have these patches, and I really believe that this is the future of medicine. I think that we are kind of at the cusp of something magical here. I think it's wonderful. So do you have any do you have
Oh my
any other
goodness.
questions?
That was that was just so wonderful. I mean, all the different things it's done for your daughter, for
Yes.
you, and just let's say 5 months you've been using the patches, and then you were noticing massive pain relief in 3 days.
Yeah.
And then your daughter, like the academic, the difference you can tell that is working and making a difference in her brain. Like
Oh yeah.
that's that's so huge that you can see it on her grades, you see the difference, and she probably knows the difference also.
Oh, even, we went back to school about 3 weeks ago, and she was struggling even in, the second or third day of math class, and she was already overwhelmed and frustrated. And she's like, Mom, I can't do this. I can't do this math class. And she is, I mean, she's in an honors class, because we push our kids. So she's in an honors class math, and she's like, I don't think I can do this. I don't remember these things. And really, right, the back to school, meet the teacher night, she was just overwhelmed by, the number of kids in the school, and she switched from, K through 6 to 7 through 12. And so she was overwhelmed and kind of intimidated. And so I said, oh, I think we need to go back on the patches. And then, kind of being a irresponsible mom, I didn't go home and slap one on her. I kind of thought, okay, I'm going to start doing that. And then, next thing I know, we're 4 or 5 days into school, and she's been struggling with her math, and literally putting the patch on a couple of days later, all of a sudden I said, where's your math homework? Oh, I did it in school. And so I pull up her grades, and sure enough, she's done all of her homework, and she's gotten 100% on her math assignments, and she's doing it all in school.
Which patches were you using for her exactly, for your daughter? Which patches?
Yeah. So she consistently is wearing X39 and Aeon. Those are my two favorite. Yeah. And then occasionally we'll do an Elevata.
Wonderful. And for you, someone was asking, where did you place for your scoliosis, for your back pain? Where did you say you placed the patches? Someone said, where on your body were you using the patches?
Yeah. So for myself, I recommend X39 on the spine. So, typically it can go on the back of the neck. I put it on the base, down where my pain is, my low spine. And then I put the Aeon, kind of where your thumb goes when you put your hand on your hip. So in the loin, in that tender, that tight muscle there in your back, that's where I wear the Aeon.
You're putting it just right there on the point of pain.
Point of pain. Yeah, you can't go wrong with that. Yeah.
Well, that was
Hello there, everybody. I'm Dr. Ali Grimston, and I'm a functional medicine doctor in the UK. And I'm going to share with you today some of the things that are changing people's lives, a new technology that has quite incredible impact on people's health and their wealth, on their financial health, their spiritual health, their emotional health, and their physical health. And those of us, so I'm a UK doctor. I'm an NHS GP 1 day a week. I've been a partner in my own practice in the past, but I left when they disciplined me for recommending probiotics to patients. My own story of health is through a broken back when I was 17 and struggling with chronic pain as a medical student and a young doctor, and then burnout as a full-time GP with 2 young kids when I was about 38. And these all led me towards a much more holistic approach than most doctors. And I'm now trained as what's called a functional medicine doctor. Functional medicine is where we're looking for the root cause of a problem rather than just treating the symptom, as is so common when you're trying to skip over the surface, when you're going for quick fixes, either for the patient's point of view because they're looking for a quick fix, or for the funder's point of view, whether it's an whether it's an insurance company or a state-run system like in the UK. And I wasn't looking for an opportunity at the time, although I was not having success with my existing network marketing company, because there's a lot of competition out there. And since I joined my previous network marketing company in 2008, there have become available much more good quality supplements than were available back then. So being with a company that uses supplements where there are other supplements available that are good quality as well, weight management products, these things make it quite difficult to build a business and to sustain the business, especially when the prices of the products are going up because of the ingredients. And I actually joined Lifewave partly because I wanted to improve my multiple streams of income. So I've got property investment, I've got shares, I've got my own business, and I'm part of a clinic, a functional medicine clinic, and I'm doing locum. So I believe in multiple streams of income because we have multiple streams of expenditure. Let's face it, look at your bank statement. You're not just spending things on one thing, are you? And I was also drawn to this because I could see its potential to help members of my family. In common with many people here, you often find that your family actually don't want to try it. To them, you're the sister, daughter, mother, it's not quite the same as to strangers who know your expertise before they know you. But my husband tried them, and he's a committed user of this technology because his hand pain disappeared on the 3rd day of using the patches, and he's had that hand pain for 3 years, and it's secondary osteoarthritis, secondary to playing American football. For me, I've seen enormous benefits, but more subtle than the ones we're going to show in this talk. So today I'm going to talk to you about the technology, the way it works, how to get hold of it, but also how to build a business with it if you are that way inclined. If you have even an inkling of entrepreneurial wish inside you, then do pay attention to that second half of the talk, because this is an amazing business that rapidly pays for itself and beyond, unlike many other of this type of business. So now I'm going to share my screen. And Freeman's going to tell me if it's not showing properly. I'm going to minimize us, move us over there. Right, so my question to you is, have you been patched yet? If not, contact the person who invited you to this talk and get hold of one of these round band-aids, because this is the technology we're talking about. It's very easy to use. You use it for 12 hours. We're going to talk about that. And what it does is it elevates peptides in the body called copper peptide in the case of the main one we're going to talk about, X39. But other peptides, for different patches we elevate different peptides. That then activates stem cells in the case of the X39, or activates other processes in the cell. And then that helps to regenerate your body in the case of the stem cell one. So what is Lifewave? That's very strange. That's better. So what is Lifewave? Lifewave is a company, but what the X39 is stem cell reactivation technology in a patch. Now, you may have heard a lot about stem cell therapy, stem cells, stem cell injections, or about peptide therapy, like these GLP-1 receptor antagonists, and other peptide therapy for beauty and for skin regeneration. So people are having peptides injected into their skin to help their skin. But we have the technology that allows you to use both peptide therapy and stem cell therapy from your own body without other intervention, no injections. I'm just going to play this video which explains how it works, how the technology works.
Light, an ancient form of energy that goes back to the dawn of time. For us, it all begins with the sun, the source of light and life for our entire solar system. Even Einstein concluded that everything we're made of contains light. All life originates with the sun through photosynthesis. Plants and vegetation collect the light, and all living creatures emit light. Humans actually emit infrared light, which can be seen with night vision devices. We've known for centuries that light has many effects on the body. Lifewave's phototherapy patches use light to stimulate the body's natural healing systems, providing specific health benefits. Here's how the technology works. First, a patch is applied to specific points on the body. Where the patch covers the skin, infrared light emitted from the body is reflected back into the tissue. This stimulates the skin, which in turn stimulates specific regions of the brain. The brain then taps into the body's own natural flow of energy and the ability to heal itself. Let's take a look at why this is important on a cellular level. For example, a number of our patch products help counteract free radicals, oxygen molecules that damage cell proteins and contribute to visible signs of aging. When the body is stimulated through phototherapy to release its own antioxidants, these free radicals are neutralized naturally.
Incredible to have a mechanism that's so simple. Lifewave itself was established in 2004. It's a well-established company. It's open in 87 countries, which is great because as business owners, we have a global business. I have business partners throughout the world, in Canada, the US, in the Netherlands and in South Africa, all over the world, Spain, you know, so it's wonderful to have that opportunity to help people worldwide, but also locally. So the X39 was launched in 2019 and it led to an exponential growth of the company because if you look there, you can see that that was just before COVID hit. So we know that there's that influencing things. And in that time, people were looking for business opportunities. They were running out of money. They were also bored at home. But in addition, this stem cell therapy patch or stem cell technology was so big that it's led to ongoing growth, as you can see from this image. So this is David Schmidt, who was the CEO and inventor of X39. He's from a scientist and inventor family. He has over 108, well, he's got over 200 patents. He got his 200th patent about a month ago. And because he understands the importance of patents. The rest of us who don't own business and don't invent things, we may not really understand the importance of patents in safeguarding your intellectual property and making sure that there can't be any other competition. And this is what David was very clever and astute about because of his background. So he's a scientist and inventor. He's now got an honorary PhD, so he's Dr. David Schmidt now. And he focused his attention to stem cell research in 2008, but then it took 10 years and $4.5 million to get the X39 to market. This is just part of one of the 200 patents that are held. So we've got patents for the different patches, for the shape, the size, the logos, and for the way it works, which is crucial. So nobody else can do this. Nobody else can produce technology that results, as a result of elevating copper peptide, leads to activation of stem cells and improvements in energy. Amazing. So what is a stem cell? Stem cells are the progenitor cells. They're the cells that are present in the developing fetus that can develop into any organ in the body, any cell type. And we have billions of them when we are first born. And as we grow older, they decrease. The number of active stem cells decrease exponentially. Some of them die, some of them just go inactive. So by the age of 30, we've had a 60% reduction from teenagehood. And by the age of 60, we've had a 90% reduction from teenagehood. So you can see that these precious stem cells are reducing. And this is linked to our experience as we get older of being less able to heal cuts more quickly. Things begin to slow down. We begin to see wrinkles on our faces. Aging is closely related to these stem cells. So how does it work? Well, it's this proprietary form of phototherapy shown in the video. It's a patented nanocrystal technology and it reflects light to activate. So the patch lies on the surface of the skin. It's non-transdermal, so no drugs go through the patch. It's non-invasive, but it reflects our own infrared light that comes up and hits those nanocrystals back down at a narrow wavelength, which is then what activates a specific peptide in the body. So how to wear it? We recommend these two places are what we use for the clinical trials, because you need consistency in clinical trials. But you can wear it anywhere. We often favor acupressure points and meridians because of the focus of energy in those places. You wear the patch for 12 hours on and 12 hours off, and you can wear more than one. So I'm currently wearing an X39 on the back of my neck, an X49 below my tummy button, and an SB6 on my left leg. Tonight, when I go to bed, I'll be wearing a silent night and an Alavida on my face, and also I'll have a face mask, an eye mask with some patches on as well. And so you can have more than one patch at a time. Some of those, you throw it away after use, so you start a new patch the next day. Some of us with animals, companion animals, we use those patches on our dogs and cats afterwards. So my dogs currently have all those patches from yesterday are on them today. Drink plenty of good quality water. I recommend filtered water, and that water is absolutely crucial for creating that electrical field in the body that enables the patches to work. Long-term results: in the first few days, we know that GHKCU, which is the peptide that's increased by X39, begins to reset 4,000 genes. Within 6 weeks, we know the brain becomes more balanced, and we in ourselves, we see people having less mental anxiety. We get more settled. And within 3 months, your collagen is increased, and you're already beginning to see improvements in the skin of your hands, the skin of your face. And within 6 months, we see that there is a marked reversal of heart age in studies. So you get a cardiovascular reversal within 6 months of 8 years reversing backwards. So as cardiovascular disease is still the main killer in men and women, this is a really important thing, that hidden furring up of your arteries that you can't see is starting to regress. It's amazing. I've never seen anything like it in 30 years as a doctor. So the benefits of X39, we see increased strength, reduced inflammation, so that means reduced aches and pains. It also means reduced many different health situations are related to inflammation. Inflammation is a root cause. Also oxidation. So these things are helped. Increased stamina and energy and vitality. So you find that you get an improvement in that. Mental clarity improves. So you find that you can make decisions more easily. You're not feeling foggy brained. You're not forgetting things so much. Restored musculoskeletal conditions, improvement of sleep, and improved skin appearance. What we're aiming at is to achieve optimal health, which is a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being. But remember this, the Lifewave products are not a medical product. They're a wellness device. They're not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or medical condition. We're not treating anything with these. We are enabling the body to heal itself, to improve its own state. So it works wherever your body needs it most. That may not be where you are focused. So you may have knee pain and want it to make the knee pain go away. But when the patch goes on your body, your stem cells know that there's something else hidden that needs to be healed first. Maybe it's that cardiovascular furring up. Maybe it's a fatty liver. These things are the stem cells will go where they're needed most, and the knee pain might heal a bit later on. Wear it daily for at least 90 days plus an additional month for every decade of life for optimal results. And don't forget that water. You need to have lots of water, hence me getting my water before speaking. Everybody's body is unique and different. So if you see a testimonial about something similar to what you're struggling with, doesn't mean to say you'll get the same results. You might get faster or slower results. You may get a result on a different area. This is a part of a study of, I think, 14 or 15 participants where they are looking over time at the impact of X39 on the brain. And here you can see in the first picture that there's a lot of inflammation reflected by that red and orange and yellow. So there's a lot of inflammation in this brain scan, but also when they measured brain coherence, it was all disjointed. There isn't coherent brain waves. In session 2, after 3 weeks on X39, we can see a greatly improved inflammation level and improved brain coherence. And in session 3, we've got 6 weeks. After 6 weeks on the X39, there's a complete turnaround of inflammation and much better brain coherence. So when she came in, her brain was hyperactive and it calmed down dramatically at the second visit, and that remained calm for 6 weeks until the end of the study. This is also showing inflammation reduction in cardiovascular situations, so in the heart muscle. And you can see there's a lot of inflammation on day 1, and that reduces slowly after 2 months and after 5 months. So just to remind you, this is not a quick fix. This is not treating or curing anything. What we're doing is helping the body to heal itself, and that will do it in its own time. So do be patient, but the results can be spectacular. Now let's look at what happens with inflammation and pain. The pictures on the left show somebody with back pain. It's a man with back pain, and you can see he's got a lot of neck and back pain and tension. Here's inflammation showing in the muscles here. And then lower down the back, he's still got a lot of pain in the mid and lower back around the spine. After just 30 minutes of wearing the X39, you can see this vast improvement in inflammation in the reduction of red areas. Here, this is a lady who just carried X39 in her hand, and you can see after 30 minutes a reduction of the inflammation in that joint at the base of the thumb before and after that period of time. People say, well, it must be the placebo effect. Well, this is a horse. They don't tend to preempt what effect the patches are going to give them. So we don't really think it's the placebo effect. And we're looking at here 4 months of the Eon, which reduces inflammation. And you can see here intense pain and inflammation in the shoulder joint. It's even more intense than the red areas. So we've got purple and white as highly intense inflammation. And you can see after 4 months, a big improvement. I'd like to play this video, which is going to show you a dachshund. Oops. Just trying to hover. So you can see dachshunds tend to have back problems, spine problems, because they're bred with a very long spine, and he's paralyzed. She's paralyzed at the rear end. And after just 4 days of X39, we've got this amazing improvement. Look at her enjoying herself. It's hard to believe she's the same dog. Crazy. Now I'm just going to show you some visual changes. So it's a picture can say 1,000 words, and I just want to share with you these. But when you're looking at these, I want you to reflect that any changes on the outside, it's not just about vanity, although we do tend to start looking at our wrinkles once we're 40. It's actually a reflection of what's going on inside the body. So if we've got this reduction in aging on the outside, that same thing is happening to your organs inside. So here we have Dr. Stacey. After 3 years of X39, she is looking fabulous, isn't she? Amazing. And here we've got a lady who, after just a year, you can see the improvement in the face, in the age spots, but in the wrinkles around the eyes. And I really feel that her eyes are clearer. She's got less hooding of the upper eyelid and less wrinkles around the mouth and the neck. This is after 1 year of X39. And this lady, these pictures are what persuaded me. If you look at the bags under the eyes and the wrinkles around this lovely lady's mouth, and it's just reduced enormously after 1 year. And she looks even better in the photos we have of her at 2 years as well. We just couldn't fit them on the slide. Now let's look at some other situations. Now remember, Lifewave products are not intended to treat, cure, or improve the symptoms of any disease. They're not for diagnosis. However, they are helping the body to heal itself. So here we've got a few autoimmune disorders, which is when the body attacks itself. With vitiligo, it's an autoimmune disease where your body's immune system is attacking the melanin in the skin, and you end up with these pale patches which show up really badly if you have a pigmented skin. Here we've got a gentleman who used the X39 for 3 months, and you can see how much less depressed he looks and how much better his skin is looking. And this gentleman, this is after a year of using X39 plus a light box, and you can see the improvement in the skin color here. It's just amazing. As a doctor, I've never seen anything like this. We just have to tell people to use camouflage makeup. Sometimes ultraviolet light can help, but often not. This lady has Bell's palsy, which is thought to be another autoimmune disorder where your immune system's attacking a nerve. The medical treatment is high doses of steroids, 60 milligrams of prednisolone, very high. And this is after 18 months. So she's already had this paralysis for 18 months in this first picture. She's wearing an eye patch because the way the paralysis affects your face, you can't actually close your eye and protect it from dust. So you have to wear an eye patch. And then after just 3 months of X39, you can see how much better she is and how you can hardly see the residual paralysis that's there. Here we also see psoriasis. You can see what happened before the X39 and then 12 hours after the X39 and then 36 hours after, and then 10 days after starting the X39. This is not a result we would expect. Psoriasis causes a great bit the depth of thickened red skin that is itchy and often has white lines on it, and it takes a lot more than a patch surely to improve this condition. It's another autoimmune condition. And then we have healing. This is a surgical scar, and you can see how improved it is after 12 days. And here we have some venous stasis, so you can see the veins are pooling blood in the foot. And after just 5 days of X39, we get a big improvement. The veins are much less dilated there. Here we have live blood analysis. This is incredible because you can see in the first picture that the red blood cells are stacking up against each other. This is forming what we call rouleaux, which is due to the viscosity in the serum. And so what's happening here is the blood cells cannot flow freely. They're getting held up by the viscosity of the serum. Could you mute yourself, please? Thank you. And so what's happening here is there's inflammation going on. The proteins in the blood that are released during inflammation contribute to this viscosity. And then after just 10 minutes of wearing the X39 patch, you can see that the blood cells are flowing freely again. This is an impossible result. I wouldn't expect this under any circumstances. And again, here we have a situation where someone's got ankle swelling, a very, very common problem. We can't often do anything about it. We don't do diuretics for it these days. Can you mute yourself, please?
I got in touch with her for T2, and she replied. So she
Margaret, I'm muting you. Right, everybody else is muted. Okay, so day one.
Hi there, Lottie.
Beg your pardon?
Yeah, I've got a passport
me,
application
please.
form to do for my brother.
Rosie. Right. I think I'm going to make my friend Freeman a co-host so that he can mute people for me. Is that all right, Freeman? Thank you.
Be into all wellness therapies, you know.
Margaret. Right. Muted again. So, oh, no, it's still saying. There we go. So, Freeman, if you can keep an eye on those for me, please. You're a star. So what we have here is ankle swelling, and diuretics we don't use for simple ankle swelling anymore. We only use them as part of a treatment plan because we've got to know what the cause is. But here we see, but very often we don't find a cause. We don't find any improvement. The best we can offer people is support stockings, which are very difficult to put on. Any of you who've tried putting those support stockings on will know the answer to that. It's very difficult to put them on. You need another person to do it. They're so thick and dense. And here we have just 3 weeks of X39 and her ankles are completely transformed. Again, as a doctor, I'm speechless when I see these pictures. When I first saw that case in our group, I was amazed. So then we have some injuries. Here we have somebody who's had, I think, a fall. This gentleman's definitely had a fall. He's put a number of patches on. So looking at him, he's probably got Icewave, there and there, and Eon to reduce inflammation, as well as an X39. But he's had a bad fall, and over 7 weeks, that improvement is amazing. We cannot see that he's had a fall and he's had that extensive bruising before. And then we've got the results of a burn case, 3 days, 5 days, and 7 days. We don't know how long that final result is. And hair loss. So lots of you will experience hair loss, and that could be a big problem, or you may just ignore it. But it is amazing to see these sorts of improvements in male pattern baldness and other forms of baldness over 7 weeks and 6 weeks here. And here we got an improvement after 3 months, so much less hair being. So what patches, what are our products? Well, the X39 is the foundation patch, and that's the one I've been focusing on today because it's the most important one. It's the one that everybody needs to try. We also have some other patches though that support X39 in its work. So the first one is X49. This one is a great one. I wear it every day because the first day I used it, I found my brain fog went away. This I feel is due to the fact that when you're using X39 and X49 together, it aligns the copper ions in your body and allows your body to become its own Faraday cage, which means you're blocking the EMFs. And we are walking around these days in an EMF soup from mobile phones and internet and so much more, and that is causing our body damage. Our body thinks of it as a viral infection, so it's always trying to fight the EMF impact. So my brain fog that I didn't even know was there went away when I started using both. But it also builds up muscle mass, bone density, and heart health. Very good for anyone with a cardiovascular issue, any sports people, and of course for my main clients of perimenopausal and postmenopausal women who are focused on exactly these 3 things: muscle mass, which depletes after menopause, bone density, which goes down after menopause, and heart health, which is still the major killer in women as well as men. And 60%, the first sign of it is sudden death. So we do want to work on this and not ignore it. Icewave is a great patch. It reduces pain. It causes some relief of aches. There are no side effects, and it's enabled many people to come off painkillers without the side effects that you see with painkillers. Most of the time we are relying on painkillers with opiates in, gabapentin. These have side effects and cause people to feel very sleepy. Glutathione is a really important antioxidant. This is important for detoxification and for anybody who is struggling with a health condition. It's an immune booster and antioxidant, and what this patch does is it increases your endogenous glutathione. Remember, there's nothing in the patch, it's not going through into the body, it's helping the body to create its own glutathione. And we found in studies that it increased your glutathione by 300%. That's, a glutathione supplement can only increase your glutathione by 20 to 30%. Glutathione transdermal cream can only increase your glutathione by about 70%. Intravenous glutathione can increase your glutathione quickly and to a big extent, but it only has a half-life of 12 hours, so a day later it's gone. So this is a really powerful patch, but of course only us medics really understand its power unless you try it. Carnosine is really good for brain function, anything to do with the nerves, memory, focus. It lengthens telomeres, which is a direct anti-aging effect. And if anybody's got issues with nerves or with eyes, I tend to recommend this along with the X39. Eon reduces stress and inflammation. So it reduces inflammation, and because stress is related to inflammation in the brain, this is very helpful. So we find that even with X39 alone, most of us find we just don't feel down anymore. It's very easy to pull yourself up when something happens. So it's a really, really brilliant effect, but Eon adds to that and can be very helpful. But at the end of the day, any illness that ends in itis has got inflammation going on. So whether you've got arthritis or colitis or anything like that, the Eon will be helpful. And to be honest, any ill health will benefit from the Eon. So it reduces pain as well. Silent nights regulates sleep and increases our natural melatonin production. It improves the quality of your sleep and the quantity of your sleep. In a study of insomniacs, we found that there was a 66% improvement in the duration of sleep. That's incredible. Energy Enhancer and Icewave both use 2 patches at a time. So these two only have 15 days worth of use because each sleeve has 30 patches in. The energy enhancer increases energy, fat burning, and endurance. It's loved by athletes. It's the first patch that David Schmidt created, but we're also finding it useful for people with chronic fatigue conditions like long COVID and chronic Lyme disease and ME. Then the SP6 Complete, it helps with weight and appetite, but it also helps balance hormones and it aids digestion. So it helps with the hormones involved in hunger, satiety, and digestion. It also helps to balance hormones to do with the hypothalamic, pituitary, thyroid, adrenal axis. So all of those hormone systems can be helped with it. And Aloe Vera, it helps you have vibrant skin, reduces wrinkles, and it builds collagen. So really, really useful. We also find that it helps at night to help with your visualization, your visions, if you're doing meditation or anything like that, really helpful. And there is another patch that is like Icewave, but just for use with horses, not available in South Africa, but it is available in the UK, and that's just got a stronger adhesive. And we find that these are created for humans, but we do find them helpful with animals as well. Now, if you happen to be in Canada, you will find that you'll get confused because Canada has different names for all of these patches. And for most of them, they just say stimulates pressure acupuncture points because of the rules and regulations in Canada. But if you match up, if you take a screenshot of this and then match up the colors, you will find that the same effect, that you have the same patches just with a different name. For example, glutathione, carnosine, energy enhancer, all have different names over there.
So guys, you can see we are 20-year-old pioneers in this life technology. Guys, it's a no-brainer. The time is now for you to make a move and get started with Lifewave's X39. It's the only technology of its kind in the world today. And I've put it now today in the hands of, in your hands. So please don't hesitate and don't lose out. Join us and let's get this technology to you, your family, your friends and your loved ones that are living with pain and suffering in the world today. Guys, it's a no-brainer. Please like, subscribe and share on all my channels and follow. Please follow as well. I've got QR codes at the bottom. You can just scan them. The QR code will take you to the preferred site that you would like to see the full testimonial. You can also click onto the icons. It will also take you direct if you can't scan. There's an email address, a QR code with an M in it. It'll take you direct to my email. You wouldn't have to type in the address and whatnot. Please, guys, drop me a message so that I can hook you up to this fantastic technology. A miracle patch, my point of view. Guys, it's a no-brainer. Please get out there. Share this with all your family member, friends, loved ones that are living with pain and that are suffering in the world today. Guys, it's not necessary. Let's get this movie. Please, like I say, subscribe, share, like, and follow, because that gets us deeper into the internet network, and we can get to millions more people that need this technology in their lives to live a happier and younger life. Guys, this year the company is aiming to reach $1 billion for income for the year. Now that can't happen if this technology doesn't work. There's more thousands and thousands of people joining us on a daily basis and seeing the benefits out of this medical patch. Again, my point of view, my own point of view. So guys, please don't hesitate and don't lose out. I've put it now in your hands. Let's get a move. I'll help you get in and get hold of the technology, and we can help your friends and everybody. Guys, thank you for watching the video to the end. And remember, join us. This is Johnny signing out from Johannesburg, South Africa on the 2nd of July 2025. Freezing out here in South Africa. Guys, please, I'm waiting to hear from you. Just scan my email or drop me a WhatsApp. The WhatsApp QR code will take you direct to my WhatsApp, and drop me that message. And let's get started. Let me help you get in a hold of this product, this medical patch. Remember my point of view. Let's get it going. Thank you for being here. I love you lots, and I hope to see you next week. Live a happy, younger, healthier, and pain-free life out there. Thanks. See you next week again. Enjoy the week. Bye.